Hello and welcome to our channel again. Today we have uh, Skoda Fabia 2 RS with 1.4 TSI engine. So this engine is 132 kilowatt, but there are difference and power and kilowatt in these types of engine. So uh, these engines are also used on the Seat Ibiza 6J5 and also Volkswagen Polo 5 with 6R1 series. So right now this engine which we are going to remove from this vehicle, this is Skoda Fabia 2 and it's 1.4 TSI, 132 kilowatt, and the engine code is CAVF. So today we are going to perform the removing task of this on this engine. So as you can see here, there is little bit modification on this engine. So this one is modified. The original air filter housing is removed and that's modified to this one. And also as you can see here, the some extra device is installed on this one, and also the air intercooler or charge air cooler is installed on this vehicle as well as an extra device. So today we are going to remove this engine together. So to remove the engine first, we are going to disconnect the battery. So before disconnecting the battery, make sure that the locking nut key or anything relevant to that, if you want to use it during performing the task, those are not in the tailgate or in the boot. So make sure before disconnecting the battery, you need to leave the tailgate open or remove anything you need that, for example locking nut key, wheel locking nut key. So as we have already removed the wheel locking nuts from the vehicle, so we are going to disconnect the battery, and we do not need anything to require from the boot. Okay, this heat shield is fixed here, this is installed here, so if you had, you need to remove this one as well. So it's installed like so, like so. So if yours has one of this, you need to remove this one as well. Okay, now I'm going to remove this pipe, disconnecting from here. This is T30. Okay, now I'm going to remove the wheel and the wheel arch as well. So this is a 17 millimeter bolt. Okay, before removing the wheel arch, you will need to remove the engine underneath cover. So before removing this, and you need to remove the engine underneath cover. Okay, remove the wheel and wheel arch or mud guard on the driver's side as well. Okay, now first we are going to remove this exhaust pipe. As you can see, this is modified, but from factory this comes as a one unit. So I'm going to remove this pipe with the flexible pipe in it. So first I'm going to remove that, and that will give some extra space to maneuver our activity. Tighten this to 30 Newton meter. Okay, to have proper access to the coolant hose, remove this charged air hose, this one. Okay, now so I'm going to remove this hose plus this one as well. Okay, disconnect the coolant fan wiring connector, this one, from here. It's going to give you good access, and also that will remain dried, so the coolant will not be contaminated through the connector. So move that away like so, then disconnect this hose, and also you need to disconnect where is that, this hose as well, this one, this hose as well, this one. Okay, as you can see, we have disconnected the charged air hose from the intercooler from this side, from the passenger side, and also we disconnected the coolant hose from the radiator, and also we disconnected hose from the auxiliary extra coolant pump here, as you might be able to see that. Okay, now I'm going to disconnect this hose from the charged air intercooler, and once I have done that, I'm going to disconnect the anti-rule bar drop link from the anti-rule bar here. Then I'm going to remove this 3 nuts from the ball joint at steering knuckle or wheel hub assembly. Then I'm going to do the same to this side, as this one, 3 this one. Then I'm going to remove these 2 bolts from the steering rack and 2 oars here, as you can see, you might be able to see here. And then this 2 screws, this screw, so this screw and this 2. So make sure before removing this you need to support the subframe with the transmission jack. So then I'm going to remove this screw and this screw here, so do not touch this one, so leave that as it is. Then this one, so to get able to remove the torque support from the gearbox. So once you have removed that, then you will need to disconnect the AC compressor. So to do that, you need to remove the auxiliary drive belt first, then disconnect the wiring from the AC compressor, then you can remove that and move to a side. So you do not need to disconnect the refrigerant hoses from the AC compressor. So after that we have done that, we are going to remove the drive shaft from the gearbox, because we are going to remove the engine and gearbox together as one unit. So for this purpose we need to remove the drive shaft as well. So once we have removed the drive shaft, then we need to disconnect the coolant hoses, go to the heater matrix or to the heat exchanger inside the vehicle cabinet. So then we will be approximately finished from underneath of the vehicle. So our task will be approximately finished from underneath of the vehicle. Then we will go and do the top task on the engine. Okay, I will be using the same gearbox again, so I'm going to mark the position of the drive shaft and this side as well. I'm going to mark this side as well. These are the steering rack bolts. Move or turn the anti-roll bar upward to free the drive shaft here. Okay, previously I didn't show this bolt. One bolt is here. You might be able to see. One is this side and one is on the driver side. This is 13. These two are 13. This bolt, not this one. You might be able to see there. So remove this bolt, not this one, this one. Okay, this is the subframe. Okay, now I'm going to disconnect the heater core or heater matrix in and out pipes from the bottom. Okay, I'm going to remove this nut as well. This is multi-point 36 millimeter head nut. No, this is too strong. So let me try this one. You need this nut new when you're installing the drive shaft back. Okay, now I'm going to disconnect this wire from the compressor, EC compressor, and then we are done. Where is that? Okay, now I'm going to remove one, 2 bolts and one on the top. If you can see that, 3. Okay, there are 2 belt tensioners used on this engine. So one is this one, and the other is that one, as you can see, this one. So you can release tension on this one from the bottom, but you will need to release tension on the other one from the top. As you can see, this is the hole. You need to turn the tensioner, put 16 mil spanner here and turn it anti-clockwise until these 2 holes are aligned together. So then put something here locking tool, and the tensioner will be locked on untensioned position. Okay, use this 4mm pen to lock the tensioner in unlocked position. So, okay, as you can see, but as you can see, there is still tension on the belt. So now I'm going to bring the vehicle down and release tension on the top belt tensioner. This one. To lock the tensioner in release position, you need to turn this clockwise until this hole aligns with this hole. Then you need to put this 5mm pen through this hole and lock it here. Good. And for this, you need this type of Crofit 16mm spanner head, as you can see, with the long bar. But if the engine is installed, you cannot do it this one. You need to use elbow shaped spanner. So I'm going to lock the tensioner, belt tensioner, in release position. So I'm going to, because this engine is on the air, and I cannot force this one because it's moving, and I'm going to do that on the engine which is on the floor. Okay, I'm going to use this tool, and I'm going to turn this clockwise like so, and then as you can see, this hole aligns to the hole which is on the body of the tensioner. So I'm going to put this pen, 5mm pen, and put like so. And now this has been locked in released position. You now can remove the belt like so. So that is how to lock and unlock two tensioners, two belt tensioners. So to unlock, just force them a little bit, and then that pen will be free. And this one as well, just this is also 16mm. So anti-clockwise and this pen is free now, as you can see. Okay, I have removed the drive belt, as you can see. So I'm not going to use this one, so I'm not going to mark it as well, the direction. Anyway, I'm going to mark the direction of the belt, the rotation of the belt, in case I wanted to use that again. So this is that. Okay, now I'm going to remove this 3 bolts which hold the compressor to the bracket. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله. Okay, I have removed or detached the compressor from the engine block. Okay, now we have done from underneath. So one small things I'm going to mention to you, that you need to disconnect the power steering pump line as well from here. So this power steering pump line as well. So we have done from underneath. So everything so now we are going to do from the top of the engine. Okay, as you can see from the top, there is enough space that I will be able to maneuver the engine on gearbox down without removing this box, this one. So now I'm going to work from the top. So disconnecting the vacuum hose, removing the wiring harness, and disconnecting the fuel lines here, as you can see, fuel lines, removing this expansion tank. So let's see. Gone. What do you want to say?
Like I'll be happy when you know, when cars come back together, like this engine's dead and you put one in there, make it back work, and you do the work and everything.
Yeah, that's fine.
But this car's too good to break.
Break it.
Nah man, shut up for now. if your ruler came to see this car, he's gonna want this one as well. You know, you put a new engine in, do you have to do anything with computer-wise? Coding and...
No.
Nah.
No. Because we're just changing mechanical part.
Yeah,
Some
not the
sensor,
wiring.
yeah, some sensor they do not need any, you know, adaptation or relearning or something like that.
Mm.
Okay, now we are going to remove the wiring harness and separate the wiring harness from the chassis. So we are going to remove, this is the starter motor wire terminal 30, and this one is the alternator output, where we are going to remove that from here. So, okay, this one is the alternator output, and this one is the as you can see, battery terminal. This is connected directly to the starter motor, so we are not going to remove that from here. We are going to remove that from starter motor, as you can see here. Okay, we are going to remove terminal 50 connector from the starter motor as well. As you can see, this is connected here. Okay, now we are going to remove this alternator output as well. This is the alternator output wire. You need to disconnect that from here as well. As you can see, now this is completely removed. Okay, now we are going to remove the wiring harness from the chassis side. So okay, now we have separated the wiring harness from the chassis side or from the ECU. So as you can see now, everything is clear except so I'm going to show you that from the bottom. So I think the transmission, the mechatronic wiring connector has to be disconnected as well. Okay, before racing the vehicle again, so we are going to disconnect the gear selector cable here, and plus we are going to disconnect the fuel line as well. So then we are going to race the vehicle and disconnect the mechatronic wiring harness. Okay, when you disconnecting the gear selector cable, you need to support this plate from underneath. Otherwise, if you push that without this, and it's going to be bent. So you need to support that like so. As you can see, I have disconnected that, and now I'm going to remove that from here as well. Okay, I have removed this clip. This is going to go this way, and in the service manual it said that has to be renewed when you installing again. So this one is just for one-time use. So I have moved that away, that's not to touch anything. So we have done the gear selector cable, and now we are going to disconnect fuel lines. Okay, I'm going to mark this fuel line because last time when I connected this fuel line to this one, so when I started the engine, actually the fuel was coming through the return line. So this was easy. And this one, when you disconnecting, you need to push that downward, and at the same time push this to tab, press this together, so like so. Press this to tap. Press, Alaka.
Kumala.
Do that. I'm going to move this too from both sides.
Yeah.
Okay, pull out. Ah, good man. So you need to press this together like so. At the same time, you press this to click and pull that upward. English में rubbish.
I like
Okay, remove this arc cable as well. This one. Now we are going to disconnect a vacuum hose which is located here. This one. This one, as you can see, this one. Now from here everything is clear, so put that here because this is okay. Now we have disconnected the vacuum hose from the brake booster or servo unit. So now we need to raise the vehicle and disconnect the wiring harness from the gearbox mechatronic unit. Okay, this cable which comes from the chassis, this is actually connected to this oxygen sensor, and the other oxygen sensor, this one and this one, I'm not sure what is this for. And this is the auxiliary pump, and plus, if you can see, this is the mechatronic connector here, this one. So let's remove this thing and see if this one. This one. This one. So, plus this one. Okay, now just this one has remained. So I'm going to put the camera down because one hand cannot work here. I'm going to connect the gearbox wiring harness as well. This is going to be okay, hold on. Okay, just hold on. Okay, we are going to disconnect this two hoses. This is the top radiator hose and this is the uh, overflow or bleeding hose back to the so then we are going to have a good access to the mechatronic wiring harness. I'm going to bring that one as well, as you can see. So this has been removed here, and okay, I'm going to remove this. Okay, as you can see, you might be able to see that this is the wiring. Yeah, I have disconnected the gearbox wiring harness as well. So let me bring this up. So this is now separated. This is for the auxiliary pump, coolant pump. This is for the oxygen sensor, and this one is also for oxygen sensor. This one, I think, not sure. This is going to be this two. 6 1. This might be the NOx sensor or two temperature sensor, exhaust temperature sensor, exhaust gas temperature sensor. So now these are to one side, and it's not going to it's not going to make any obstacles for the gearbox to maneuver it downward. Slowly, so you should actually touch it. Well, okay, go. Go. Slow. Good. Go.
The other pipe, is that pipe there?
Chill.
That's done. That one, man. Yeah. Done.
Go. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Oh, don't come and see. Go slow.
Down here? Down.
Down.
Pass.
Push it.
Pass.
Push it.
Oh.
No, look down. Bas. Thank you. Thank you, boy. Okay. As you can see, we have put the engine with the gearbox down with the assistance of this guy. Can you see that guy? He has assisted me to put the engine and gearbox down. Okay. Porta raise the vehicle. Okay, just go. Okay, if you don't have hoist, then you can support the engine from underneath and put the weight of the engine and gearbox on that supporter. Then you can lose this 2 bolts and also this 3 and 4 bolts. Then once the engine and gearbox weight is full on the supporter, then you can raise the vehicle up and remove the engine and gearbox. Okay, as I have shown you, this 2 connectors are for the oxygen sensor. This one, as you can see, the upstream one, and this one is the downstream one that goes there, which is here, which is this one, as you can see, this one. And this connector is actually for the EC compressor and the voltage regulator of the alternator. As you can see, they are connected here, and this is the EC compressor, and this one is the voltage regulator. So, and as you can see, I didn't remove the, actually this one hasn't got catalytic converter. As you can see, this is straight pipe. As I told you, this is modified and maybe illegal too. As you can see, this is straight box. The exhaust system is modified. There is no catalytic converter. This is just straight exhaust pipe has gone down.